Black Desert Online is a sandbox-oriented Korean grinder MMO developed by Pearl Abyss and is available on PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile. BDO offers an industry-leading action combat system, as well as housing, fishing, farming, large player versus player siege events, arena PvP, and open world PvP. Its Eastern playstyle has drawn millions to the game with a very respectable average player base of 18,000 on the Steam client alone. This game is buy to play, offers a subscription for convenience items and boosts, and is largely considered to be pay to win by the wider BDO audience, but that's a hotly debated topic. Hello everyone, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is President Brightlife. I'm the president of MMO Erica, or Merica for short. I want to welcome you to State of the MMO, a series where we play an MMORPG, give you my first impressions, some rapid fire pros and cons, and then let you know if you should be playing this game in this year. Friends, if at any point in this video you feel as if I have earned your presidential vote with that like button, please do hit that. It lets me be seen by more MMORPG lovers out there. If you love videos like this, we do this on lots of different games. You can hit the subscribe button below. Hey, but enough pandering for your vote. Let's get to Black Desert Online. Now, I will warn you, this episode does get a little bit spicy because this game is a little bit polarizing, so strap in and let's get plugged right in to my first impressions of Black Desert Online. Alright, first impressions of Black Desert Online. I'm genuinely excited for this because I've never played BDO before. It's like a genuinely fresh slate for me, which is really rare these days. The only things I've really heard about this game are that it has incredible combat, looks really pretty, and is definitely going to try to take my money. And y'all know how bad I am at saying no to spending money in cash shops, because I have the Galaxy Bunny. Yes, I spent real money on that. I have a problem. Please send help. Oh, cool. So the servers here, it seems that they're really easy to transfer in, like with Final Fantasy XIV or old school RuneScape. It's a really nice plus. You can jump to play with friends extremely easily. Way to go. That's awesome. Holy classes, Batman. This game has 24 classes? That's absolutely insane. Now for context, Guild Wars 2 has 9 and WoW has 12. Like, what? How in the world am I supposed to choose one? And this is a PvP game. How in the world are they gonna balance 24 classes? That's wild. Okay, we've got this one, which looks cool. We've got this one, and then wait a minute. This is amazing. What a discovery. I need to tell the professor. I'll be right back, friends. I beg your pardon, my friend. I normally don't interrupt videos, but I must say we've just made the most fascinating evolutionary discovery through this video game. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Professor Brightlife. I am the lead professor of evolutionary biology and medieval weaponry at the Bright Manos University. Yes, I know it's a very small staff. We have very unique roles. But I believe that we've just made one of the largest scientific discoveries of the past century when it comes to evolutionary biology. Now, we were able to determine where humans were in the evolutionary process based on where humans would wear plate armor in the medieval ages, because that was where their vital organs were located. Namely, in the head, the neck, and the torso, covering the heart, the lungs, the neck, the brain. But friends, we may have been wrong all along about where the vital organs are placed in all human beings. Because it seems that in medieval times, there were also female warriors from the wonderful nations of Korea, China, and Japan, and they would fight with fury and gusto, but they would only wear armor in one particular spot. Now, we must assume evolutionarily that because they only placed armor in this area on their body, that is where all of their vital organs resided. This is a massive discovery, because seemingly back in the day, their hearts were in their honkers. Okay, please don't demonetize me, YouTube. Oh my god. That sword, that armor, oh, the animation. I normally don't play girl characters, but wow, this one is awesome. When in Korea, am I right? Alrighty, on to character customization. Let's get our anime waifu customized. And the first thing is horoscopes? So this game takes place in Southern California. Got it. Oh, now we get to choose the weather? I think this is for like screenshot immersion or something, but I can choose between my 3 favorite weather patterns: gray, dark gray, and blue. Wow, the character customization is insane. More games need to copy this, like it's genuinely amazing. You can choose your body type, there are 2 different hair length sliders, lots of other sliders that will not be mentioned. Wow, like the genuine character customization ability is amazing. Even the edit history here in the top right is awesome. It's amazing. If you make a couple of mistakes, you liked where you were 5 minutes ago when creating the character, you can just go back in the edit history, and that's a really, really nice touch. Ooh, I get to play with stances. That's the creepiest smile I've ever seen in any MMO ever. Are those heart irises? Nightmare fuel activated?
This is terrifying.
I am going to murder my tattoo artist. And let's just play this thing. Now, jokes aside, the character customization is amazing. Other MMOs could learn a thing or two about this character customizability. It really adds to the immersion of the game, and I think BDO deserves a lot of credit here. I shall add TTV to my name because I want people to hate me on sight. Follow me on Twitch, by the way. There are so many settings here to mess with, but let's just jump in. And today on Eastern MMO Intro Bingo, we're trying to check off these 5 bingo boxes. A mysterious person in some sort of hood. The quote, "You just woke up." An ultra confusing story that is completely unexplained. An ultimate anime betrayal. And a character with a very squeaky voice.
Are you awake?
Wow, I love how clean this interface is. I was thinking that because this was an Eastern MMO adapted for mobile, I was thinking that we were gonna have a lot of flashy boxes and cluttered UI telling me to buy things, but really, like a genuinely nice surprise. I swear, if BDO sells this sword in real life, I am buying it. Now, one thing about these cutscenes is I am loving that only some of the lips move, which is giving me real N64 GoldenEye vibes. But you know what's giving me incredible vibes? This soundtrack. Oh my gosh, it feels so cinematic. Like, this feels like it would fit into like movie scenes where great, incredible tragedies are unfolding. Just watch. Team Jacob forever, people. Wait. When did we get camels? I want to name him. What should I name him? Maybe Hump the Camel. No. This is Born Ultimatum levels of camera shaking. I honestly have no idea what's happening in this story, but honestly, I'm having a great time. It's not a critique on the story necessarily, but man, these Eastern MMOs are like the walking definition of NVIDIA race. This walking between these 2 cutscenes was completely unnecessary. Cutscene, walk 2 steps, another cutscene. I really hope that doesn't happen throughout the entire game. Okay, onto some real combat. Wait, combos? Like combos I can, this is awesome! Yes, this is amazing! Hut, yes! Let's go! Boom! More of that, please. And there's an anime betrayal. That voice, I hate that voice so much. But also, bingo. Oh, cool, a refreshed new player experience to choose. Now that's awesome. I do really like this new trend in MMOs of paying real attention to the new player experience, maybe revamping it for the existing players. That's super cool. Now I am gonna go classic since it's my first time, but maybe in a second playthrough I'll try that new one. Oh, Lord, that UI. It burns my eyes. What happened? Blinking battle pass? Is that a blinking coupon button? Is this a mobile game? I feel like I got baited by that ultra clean intro. Like, what in the world just happened? This is terrible. It's okay, maybe I'll get used to it and there's some positive things about this UI to find. 10 minutes later. Nope, it got worse. It's terrible. This is quite possibly the worst UI that I've ever seen on a PC MMO, honestly, and yes, I've played Star Wars The Old Republic. Come at me, SWTOR players. I'll find a way to change it later, I hope, but man, that is really disappointing. Oh, look, an achievements tab. Those are cool. This looks to be really in-depth. Now, I'm not a big achievement hunter in MMOs, but honestly, if you are, this looks like it would really take a good amount of time for you. Oh, yes, look at this tab. You can track all the kills, coin collected, experience gained. I love that. This is awesome. BDO definitely has a couple of things that other MMOs should learn from. Like, this is great. Okay, my ADD is acting up, so I will play this dice game because maybe that will stop the jumping dice down at the bottom. And I got that? Cool. I swear my inventory in this game is filling up faster than my calendar when your mom is in town. Does that say energy points? Like in a cheap mobile game? Like, I feel like maybe BDO started as a PC game and it was good, and then it translated over to mobile, and instead of doing the thing where you make your MMO fit into a mobile screen, you took the mobile screen and just put it on PC. Like, I absolutely hate this. There's gotta be a way to get rid of this. They gave me a chicken. Real ones from the channel know this one. Hola, pollito. Okay, I gotta give a little tip of the fedora to the music in this game. I mean, it is really good. It gives you a little bit of... and then it swells up and gives you a little bit of... and then it fully sends you when it goes... Man, I love a good soundtrack in MMOs. Okay, another positive thing about this game is the camera work. I really like that the storytelling has great camera work. You're not just cutting between two characters, which is totally fine, but it's cool that the camera actually sweeps and swings to whatever they're talking about. That's a really cool thing to see. Okay, so I'm gonna try to ask a quick question in chat. Wait, do I need to choose a family name? Okay, Bright Monos it is. Wait, what? Did I just skip the story intro? Wait, hold on. I did! It skipped the entire story intro. What the heck? You can't even skip a cutscene in this game, and I skipped it by wanting to ask a question in chat? Oh no. Ah well, I guess that people play BDO for the story as much as people go to Hooters for the chicken wings, so on we go. Ah, the cash shop. It even goes cha-ching like a cash register. That is so shameless. Oh, but there are some awesome outfits in this store. I mean, this outfit tab runs deep. I mean, that's sick. That's incredible. That's pretty cool. What the heck is that? You can be a fish? Wait, I can be a shark? I want it so bad. Lord Jesus, save me from being monetized. Come, Pollito, let's go smash some goblins. Man, this combat is so cool. Seems like everything can be harvested, which is great. Definitely points to a cool crafting system. Also, I unlocked progressive combos. This is awesome. This combat system is so next level. Man, I am telling you, the combat in this game is incredible. It's a bit flashy, but if you're into Eastern MMOs, that really shouldn't be a problem for you. The attacks feel really weighty, the weapons are just awesome, the skills are fun, that is really cool. What is the problem with the combat is the UI when you fight. It's just absolutely in your face, at least in the default setting. I really do need to learn how to change this, and I'm sure there is a change UI button somewhere in the 8,000 buttons on my screen, but honestly, I'm kind of exhausted just looking at those buttons, so we'll explore that a little bit later. Now, one thing about combat that I'm a bit bummed about is everything in the intro scenes at least seems to die in one light attack. It doesn't really give you the ability to fully explore the combat, sadly. Like, I'd love to see the combos taking off a big chunk of a health bar, but I can basically kill things in just one hit. Maybe the bosses will solve this, but for now, I don't feel like I'm really getting the full depth of the combat since everything just dies when I press one button. It's kind of a shame. Oh, so this is interesting. So every time I defeat an enemy, I learn about that enemy and it becomes easier to defeat that specific type of enemy in the future. So like my grade is a C, but I guess I can go up to a B and an A. That's another really cool and innovative idea by BDO. I really think that some other MMOs should copy that. That's really, really cool. Now, the one thing I will note kind of as a mid part through this playthrough is that this game is extremely unfriendly to the new player. They throw every single mechanic at you at once without really much explanation. This game is kind of the embodiment of being tossed in the deep end with sharks while you learn to swim. Except these sharks look like this, so it's not that bad. For example, I have this skills tab. It's constantly blinking at me. I click it and I have no idea how to select the skills. I push the buttons that I think are supposed to add skills. I try everything that I can, but when I back out, they reset. There's no confirm button. It's just really confusing. And I went over to the trainer, did the same thing. They don't really explain this very well. As the story continues, I do have to say that this game follows in the footsteps of so many other incredible MMOs by having what we professionals like to call dumb dialogue.
Did I say that out loud? I'll just go stick my head in a cauldron and die now.
Hey, are you kidding me with this right now, huh?
Ah! Get out! All of you! Never show your faces here again!
Now, I do want to give the BDO community huge props here. I asked a question about that skills button and everyone responded with zero judgment. I mean, the things just kept rolling in. It was awesome. Massive shout out to the BDO community. Y'all seem really nice and super friendly. And that's actually really surprising for an MMO that has forced open world PvP. Most of the time that kind of adds toxicity, but genuinely, that's really incredible. Okay, end of my day one playthrough, and I am definitely mixed. Behind the scenes, I normally really like to make these in like one day, just because I like to just go through, and most MMOs, they keep me for the whole day. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go watch some videos on how to make the UI better, like a real gamer does. It's a bummer that I need to look up tutorials to fix what the game should have left out in the first place, but it is what it is. All right, we're back in day 2, and I watched an amazing video. Shout out to Dots Gaming for a great UI video, really, really helpful. It's nice to see that you can actually adjust the UI a bit, although I do wish that you can resize individual elements. Maybe that could happen in a future update. So now we get to slay Red Nose. It looks like he's in this cave over here. This is me when my mom tells me to go outside. Oh, hey, look, they put my mother-in-law in this game. Okay, looks like we get to fight a big boy in this mother-in-law fight. I will say again that I'm not a huge fan of how quick things are to kill in this game. Like, everything dies in one hit. Wait, this one doesn't. Okay, boss fight. Now we get to truly experience combat. Wait, what? What? That's amazing. I get to dodge roll? I almost died? Yes! This is what I'm talking about. Holy crap. Holy crap. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. I'm victorious. Pearl Abyss, just literally make every enemy in the game exactly like that. Please, I am begging you. Now there's the combat that the internet raves about. Yes. Wow. Okay. Huge win. This game is alive with players. Just look how many players are at work in these target dummies. That is epic. I really always love seeing tons of players in one place in an MMO. It's what made me fall in love with MMORPGs in the first place, and this is really great to see. Ooh, okay, so I just got my own horse, and horses in this game are awesome. Some people have actually called it like a My Little Pony simulator. I'm more of a Barbie horse farm guy myself, and they wouldn't be that far off, to be honest with you. The mounts in this game require feeding and care. You can get stirrups, saddles, reins, and more items to improve their speed, their durability. In fact, the horses can even get damaged, and if they die, you have to go recover them at the stable master. It's like a whole game within the game, and I think that's really, really cool. I have heard that a little bit of the monetization does come from the improvement of your mount, which we will talk about later, but it's not really a big deal to me because initially, this is really cool. They also really vibe with the sermons in this game. Got him saying, "Nay, men," am I right? Please subscribe. Hey friends, I want to take a quick moment to talk about kind of the big M-shaped elephant in the room with Black Desert Online, and it's monetization. Now, I do think that it's worth taking a little bit of time to put a disclaimer here. Some people genuinely do not care about the monetization in this game. It doesn't bother them one bit, and that's completely fine. One thing that bothers me about the way that we've been conditioned to treat one another in recent years is that we can't seem to disagree about something but also respect someone else's decisions. And I kind of want to set that right here in this video. If you love the game despite of its monetization, or even maybe because of its monetization, I genuinely respect you, and I hope that this game brings you a ton of happiness, even though you and I might disagree on what we find value in a game. Your worth to me as a person isn't determined by what MMO you play, what monetization style you like, so I hope that you and I can agree to disagree in a respectable way, and I would genuinely love to hear your take in the comments. But hey, you're here for my opinion on the state of the game, so let's jump into the most controversial element of it. Now, talking about monetization in Black Desert Online is a subject that could be talked about for hours and is highly controversial. I'm gonna do my best to condense down how this game handles the subject, but I wanna give a massive shout out to Kira TV and Lord Squidius for their really helpful videos on monetization. I'll link those down below for those that are interested in this subject more deeply, but in essence, here's how it is. If you were a game designer working on Black Desert and you asked Pearl Abyss how much monetization they wanted in their game, their answer would be yes. When it comes to monetization, Pearl Abyss has decided to eat its cake and have it too, and then eat it again. There is a box price for this game, which is pretty normal. Granted, the box price is often on sale, but this will cost you between $10 and $50. Not too bad, very normal in the MMO realm. But there is more. There's also an optional, but you'd be done not to have it, $15 per month subscription in the form of a value pack with all the benefits that I'll show you on the screen now. These will help you in your life skills, in PvP grinds, and would be considered pretty essential at endgame to have. Now we're approaching the Final Fantasy and ESO and WoW realms. Not horrific, but this is where it really starts to go downhill. Because thirdly, and sadly, this is a fully pay-to-win game with the developers going out of their way to arbitrarily inconvenience their players to get them to pay more money, and a lot of money. Now, in order to understand this, you have to understand that this game is not like Western MMOs with its end game, where the grinding at end game leads to a goal, like a raid boss clear. In this game, grinding is the end game. You set personal goals for yourself as a player, and then you grind to achieve those things. Now, love it or hate it, that's just kind of how this game and a lot of other Eastern MMOs tend to work. Now, knowing that, essentially there are 3 endless endgame grinds that are made extremely inconvenient to the player unless you spend cash. The first 2 are PvE mob grinding, which is where you go in a big circle and kill things and try to avoid mechanics, and you earn gold and power that way. And then there's life skill grinding, like fishing, trapping, farming, things like that, where you're kind of more of a crafter. Now, without paying real money for the armor sets that are found only in the store that give necessary bonuses to level these skills at anything higher than a snail's pace, and paying real money for the additional required gems as you level up for those armor slots, you're going to have a terrible time leveling these skills because Pearl Abyss has designed this game to inconvenience those who don't pay to win. Now, frustratingly for me, Pearl Abyss calls these purchases pay for convenience. But in reality, as Kira in his video puts it, these purchases are pay to not be inconvenienced. Pearl Abyss creates arbitrary inconveniences that punish players who don't pay to win. You aren't starting at a neutral spot with the payers getting a slightly better deal. All players start at an extremely disadvantaged spot, and you have to pay to get the game that Pearl Abyss should have given you in the first place, especially with a subscription fee. But if we gotta be real with ourselves, that's actually not that bad, because these skills that you're grinding are all PvE. You're not inconveniencing or harming anybody else, other players in the game, by buying these pay-to-win mechanics. You're just speeding up your personal process, and you're adding to the convenience of your gameplay. However, the third endless grind, in my opinion, really pushes BDO into real scummy monetization territory, the territory of things like Lost Ark and Diablo Immortal. And that's the fact that the third endless grind is forced open world PvP. Essentially, once you hit level 50 in this game, you are flagged for PvP in the open world always. You can't get away from it, you can't turn it off, it is just there. And without premium currency, you are always going to be behind the person who can spend a ton of money to level up their PvP side quickly. You can't avoid it because it's forced PvP. You'll get rolled faster than my Southern Mama's cinnamon rolls by the folks that are able to pay to win. Essentially, your whale food. Now, can you level these for free? Well, the consensus is yes, but not really. If you were to grind daily for 8 hours per day, then you could potentially get to where the paid players are, but it's going to take you years. It would be really too slow to keep up with other players. That's just kind of how this game is built. However, once again, I will say this, what Kira says is really important. Some people really don't care about this, and I'm not saying that you should care or you have to care. If you love a game that's a little bit pay to win, you don't really mind, you just think the game is gorgeous and you love the skill farming, then great. Personally, I think that it drags down the respectability of MMOs at large when big games like Black Desert Online do this. I think that if the casual gamer were to stumble onto BDO, especially since it's a very well advertised game, they might assume that all MMOs have this kind of scummy monetization, and that's frustrating to me because I want to see more players in the MMO space, but it kind of is what it is. My biggest recommendation for BDO is to know what you're getting into. Don't play this game without knowing that at endgame, you're going to be asked to fork over a lot of cash if you want to stay competitive and play the game that you've been sold on throughout your leveling experience. But hey, enough low notes, let's get to our rapid fire pros and cons for Black Desert Online. Alrighty, first of all, combat is fantastic. It is second to none. Everybody should play this game at least once just to experience how good and fun this combat is, especially in boss fights. This game genuinely is really beautiful. Some of my camera issues aside, it could have been my screen, could have been my game processing. It's just a great game. I think that this stands up there in the upper echelon with really gorgeous games like New World and Guild Wars 2. There are some really cool, innovative mechanics like mastering enemy types, mount mechanics, and things like that, and that's really cool. This game also understands that mounts are really important to the player. I think that every other MMO out there could really benefit from having mounts that level with you and that you really have to take care of them. It really adds to the immersion of the game. The level of character customizability is absolutely insane. From kind of character backstory all the way to character appearance is really, really impressive. And the number of classes means that you're going to be able to play this game in a lot of different ways in the multiple times that you might level. I do really love that there is a world switcher. I know this is kind of probably a minor point for a lot of people, but being someone who streams games on Twitch a lot and plays with a lot of different people from around the world, this is a really nice thing that would allow me to play with my friends. And then availability on all platforms is a big plus. I personally have been playing a lot of old school RuneScape, and the ability to go from my computer to the couch is a really, really good thing. And in my brief time with BDO on mobile, it plays really well. Now the cons, the most obvious one is the create a problem and sell the solution monetization. It's a really big bummer. Again, some people don't care about it. Some people call it pay for convenience. I think it's just pay to win, and it's kind of a bummer that it's in this game. The mobile game mechanics on my PC screen just need to go away. They need to put that all under one little tab that is openable only if you want it to be opened, because it really takes away from the immersion of this game. The UI is really unintuitive at first. There's just too much going on in the UI. It's kind of hard to know where to look. It is customizable pretty slightly. I wish it was resizable, but it is pretty unintuitive right away. The story is just kind of so-so. Most people just spam through the whole thing, which is good that that's an option, but it is kind of a shame because this game is really beautiful and I'd love to have a beautiful story to go along with it. The cutscenes in this game do make it feel very choppy. Going from dialogue cutscene to actual cutscene, back to dialogue cutscene, over to combat. It's a lot of jumping and it doesn't really make the game feel very immersive. Well, my fellow MMOikins, my beloved members of MMO Erica Congress, I would like to deliver to you today the true state of Black Desert Online in 2023. Overall, the state of Black Desert Online is both very strong and extraordinarily weak simultaneously. It's a story of contradictions and complicated controversies. Black Desert seems to polarize its potential audience to two extremes in the ways that most other MMOs don't. If you dislike this game, you will hate it nearly completely, but if you love it, you'll become a die-hard fan. This game currently has a boatload of players in the world, making it feel alive and active. Pearl Abyss has done a great job of keeping the game up to date with new classes like the newest Meiju class, seasonal events, and an updated new player experience. In the things that it does well, like combat, visuals, and music, it does it really well. It is truly best in slot in some of those spaces, especially in combat and visuals. But when things are bad, they're awful. The UI is the worst I've ever seen in a AAA MMO, and that's not even a bit of an exaggeration. The story is so lackluster that the community has made a meme of it. The mobile layout and scummy monetization practices of BDO is a real genuine shame, because I think that underneath that garbage veneer, there's a genuinely awesome game with so much potential for innovation in the MMO space. So the question is, should you play this game in 2023? Well, it's largely going to depend on you as a player. If you just have to have that perfect combination of Korean grind machine MMO, incredible combat, and you don't mind forking over a ton of cash, this game really might be for you. However, in a world of incredible MMOs that can take so many of those desired elements and make them incredible, like Final Fantasy XIV and New World, without the scummy monetization practices, I can't really in good conscience say that this game is in any other category than a void until they decide to change the way they disrespect their player base with their awful monetization practices. Black Desert Online truly is a game that requires the user to look at the positives while wearing horse blinders to experience the game's true magic. The elements of scummy monetization and mobile game UI are truly a shame because BDO brings multiple needed innovations and improvements to the MMO genre that it sorely needs. My sincere hope is that eventually we get a game with the incredible combat, stunning visuals, and sweeping music of Black Desert Online, just in a different game. Thanks for watching. Friends, I want to thank you so much for watching to the very end of what became an incredibly long video. If you liked the video and you think more MMO lovers should see this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this about other MMOs, hit the subscribe button. But the thing that I say at the end of every single one of my videos, and they're the most important thing that I could say in any video ever, is this: you are more loved than you know, and you are so much more valuable than you realize. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I want to let you know a couple ways to connect with me. First of all, we got an awesome Discord in the description. We've got a Patreon if you'd like to give to the channel and help support more video creation. And I am live on Twitch quite often over at twitch.tv/brightlifecommunity. Would love to see you there. Always love interacting on those live video streams. But I hope you have an incredible day, my loved and valued friend. Have an awesome one.